This is the first video I have shot inside. If you have seen any of my previous videos, they're mostly recorded outside. I do love being outside, and I have shown you guys a lot of how our place looks on the outside. Today, I want to bring you inside. The reason I want to bring you inside is because we are in the process of building our dream home, but we're doing it in stages. So it's a way that we could build our dream home while still being able to afford to. Dana and I bought the back half of his parents' farm in 2021, and it is our dream property. It's our forever home, we hope, to never move. And so we wanted to build our dream home. But like most people have to think about, we had to think about money, and it didn't make sense to build our dream home just yet because we were still paying for the land, and we needed to do a lot of work on the outside. Like, we were building fences and we built a barn, and so it really required that we wait and not build our dream house. We have a very particular home that we want. Dare I say, like a fancy home? I don't know. But it's gonna cost a little bit of money to build it. Materials are expensive, so we decided to turn our garage into a living space, and we are living in what we're calling our garage. So today, I want to take you on a tour of our home. The reason I want to do this is because I want to help give you guys some ideas of how to make a garage of your own. If you're wanting to build a home and you are considering doing it in stages, this is a great way to do it. So I'm going to show you how we made this a comfortable place to live for a family of 3 with 2 dogs. And then I also, along the way, I'm going to show you how we use different spaces for multiple purposes. I'm going to show you guys, I'll probably show you some things that we're going to do different next time when we build our main house, like materials and things we might do differently. I also will tell you some things that we really, really love about our home that I would really strongly recommend. I've been putting off this video for quite a while because keeping a home really clean with a toddler that just learned to walk and loves to get into everything is a challenge. And I've literally had this video on my to-do list for the last 3 days. I'm like, I'm gonna shoot this video, but first I gotta clean my house up, make it nice enough to show you guys around. And I was really struggling because I swear every time I put something away, she gets something else out. And so today, it's not perfect, but it's clean enough, and we're just doing it. So this video is not a inspiration for how a perfectly clean, tidy home looks. It's the look at a real lived-in home. I'm not an interior designer, so that's not a reason to watch my video. But if you just want to see kind of how we built this house, maybe you just, like me, I love watching people, looking through people's houses. If you just want to look through another person's house, then come along. We're going to start outside. I'm going to talk just really briefly about the layout of the house and what we're going to be doing when we build the main house, and then we're going to go inside and look at how it looks. All right, let's get going. One of the first things you might notice is that it looks like it should be a 3-car garage, which it will be when we build the main house. But for now, we only have 2 garage doors, and this third garage door, the place where the third garage door would be, we went ahead and framed in a window, which is our living room. So you'll see it from the inside in just a second. We framed in the living room. We went ahead and just put siding up. A part of me wants to paint that siding the same as the other 2 garage doors, but I also am really hoping we build the main house soon enough that it doesn't really make sense to take the time to paint it. It's a job that is way down the list. I still have to paint our doors and other things. You also might notice that the entire house is brick except for this wall right here. The reason that this is siding is because this wall will eventually connect to our main house. So all the way over here is going to be our main house. And right now, this is, we call this the breezeway. It's the connection between our garage and the main house. Right now, we have a lot of use out of it. It's a lot of good space in there. It also is just going to be a great way to get between the main house and the garage. This, of course, couldn't be brick because it is going to be attached to the main house. There's going to be a doorway. We already framed in the doorway, it's just covered up right here. That'll go into the main house. And there's actually going to be a doorway right here that takes you from our pantry into our kitchen into our pantry, which you will see a little bit better when we go inside. To get a better idea of how the house is going to look when it's finished, we are building a house with a 45. I love 45s because it just looks so warm and welcoming, like a hug. So here's the garage, the breezeway, and then right here will be the main house. The main house, this corner will be like right here. And we're gonna have this is gonna be my rose garden area eventually. When you walk inside, you'll see I still need to paint this door, but here is our living room and our 2 couch ornaments. Oh, babies. And that's the window I was telling you about. Oh, there's all our cows outside. I love being able to look out the window. I can't tell you enough how wonderful windows are. You can never have too many windows. And when you look over this way, you can see that it is the living room. That's part of the kitchen. I'll show you that more later. You got TV, baby toys, and a nice catch-all cabinet. I went ahead and got this, honestly, just because it was closed in storage. Of course, now Miriam can open those doors. She used to not be able to as much. We have way too many open shelf storage. Something I wouldn't have, but that shelf was free and so we're using it. So this wall here is a non-load bearing wall. We put this up to block out the other 2 garage bays that actually have cars in them from our living space. When we build our main house, we're still planning on tearing this wall down. I mean, it won't be something we rush to do. I do want to tear down the built-in framed window pretty quickly and put up a natural garage door because I think it'll look a lot prettier with 3 garage doors. This wall, it won't be as important to take down, but it can be taken down because it's non-load bearing. So the space of this living room is just really the length of a bay of a garage. I don't actually remember, let's see, how many? Oh, it's probably like 12 feet or so across, maybe 15. I had to get a measuring tape. I don't remember how wide it is. It is enough space for us to live comfortably. It's not great for hosting though, so I can't, we can't fit as many people. This dining room table is, you can tell it's pushed up where we can't really use those back 2 chairs. So the biggest reason right now that I want to build the main house is so that we can better have people over that's more comfortable. But we can have like Dannon's parents or just a couple people over really easily. We just can't like host a party. Like Miriam's first birthday party, Katie and Pete, Dannon's parents, were gracious enough to let us host it up there. By Dannon, I do mean my husband. Okay, let's go ahead and move into the kitchen. Miriam's playpen is also in our living room over here by the dining room table. It takes up a lot of room, very necessary. I'm sure my fellow parents know just how much room little kids take up. Here is my kitchen. So this is, we cut off the half of this one garage bay, which I'll show you really quickly, even though our garage is not super clean yet. So we have this garage bay. We built this wall here. It's still long enough to fit my car, just barely, but it still fits, and it gives me a decent sized kitchen. Definitely utilized vertical space. I wouldn't mind a little bit more cabinetry, but really the space in my kitchen isn't bad. You'll notice that the sink is over here, which is a ways away from the rest of the kitchen. The reason we did it like that is because when we do eventually tear out this non-load bearing wall here, we want to keep all this cabinetry and have an outside bar and utility sink kitchen. My kitchen is working well right now. Some things I want to have different and will be different in the main house is My stove, we're gonna have it on an island that actually looks out towards the living room, which I love. I don't like to have my back to everybody and just looking at a wall while cooking. I definitely am looking forward to having more counter space. This counter space fills up really quickly when I'm cooking a big meal, or I can't even imagine how it'll work with canning and things like that. So it will be nice to have that in the main house. My kitchen sink is also much too far away, and I did put a mirror up here so that I'm not just totally staring at a wall, but I actually would want to be staring out a window, and I will be staring out a window in the main house. We didn't put a window here because that would be looking into the breezeway, which, speaking of the breezeway, let's go check it out. The breezeway is another example of a multi-function space. Here we have Gannon's office, we have a guest bed, and then we have the laundry room with plenty of laundry left to do. And that was working okay right now. Things that don't work great when Gannon is on an important meeting and I want to do laundry, those things don't always go together really well, so we have to coordinate it. He's actually in the office right now, which is why I can record in this room. It doesn't give him as much privacy as he could use, especially since I have to go through here to get to the pantry, which we'll see in a second. And like I said, the laundry can't be done while he's on a meeting. But it does work well. We have had guests. I have a good friend from Portland, Oregon. She has stayed in here and it was plenty comfortable. And so this room does work with those three functions. We do look forward to being able to split those up. Once we build the main house, we're going to take this bed out of here. We'll probably put a couch in and maybe like some chairs, just a hangout spot from coming outside. Mostly this will just be a mud room where you do the laundry. We're going to keep it as a laundry room, a utility room. We just won't have Dannon's office in here or the guest bedroom. You can see we also have some wonderful windows in here. We really do love our windows. This is a fly zapper. It works really well. It's not as pretty. You can see I could look out at my beautiful garden out there, and our chickens are out there scratching. I don't want them to be, but it is okay. Let's go ahead and go to the back half of this room. So this hallway will lead into the main house once we get it built. This is where I was talking about the doorway. We framed in a doorway here. We just went ahead and sheet rocked over it just so that it looked better and looked finished while we live in here. But we will cut this out and make a doorway, and that's how you're gonna go from the main house to the garage here through the breezeway. We can quickly peek into my pantry. So this doorway won't be here eventually. We'll actually have the doorway right here against this wall so that I can actually access it from the main kitchen. The kitchen is going to be right on the other side of this wall when we build the main house. That is why the pantry is here in the corner. Quite a bit of space, even though I'm already thinking, oh, I would like more. Oh, and you can see we got some eggs gonna hatch. And here we just have the guest bathroom. It's right here by where the main house will be, so it'd be great for the actual guest bathroom. Hello. We have a walk-in shower. I really love those. And that's just about it for that bathroom. It's helpful now for us to have two bathrooms, and eventually it will be a great guest bathroom. Before we go upstairs, I want to mention how much I love our concrete floors. They are so easy to clean. I also love this color. We didn't stain it any color. We just sealed it and top coated it with some like sealant wax to keep it from scratching. And it has worked wonderful for not showing any dirt, even with two dogs in the house. Now it's time to go upstairs, some of my favorite rooms of the house. I did print off all of our photos from different vacations and put them together in frames. I love doing that. We got some newborn Miriam pictures and wedding pictures. We just totally embraced the grandma vibe. Pictures down the stairway. Hello, another mirror. Here is my plant start area. They are all outside my garden, so it is empty, but it was full of life. We of course have baby gates because we have a baby. And this room here is our bedroom and my office. One thing you'll notice about these office spaces is I do love having a desk that faces away from the wall. Couple reasons. One, it's good feng shui, but also it's really nice to not be staring at a wall, even out a window. What I really love about having the desk facing away from the wall is it kind of creates an office space. So it kind of creates a makeshift wall that really makes this feel like my office, my space. And it's a great place to get work done. Not that I always get that much work done with the baby, but it is where I work on editing and putting together these films, if not at the kitchen table. These windows, once again, I love my windows. I love being able to look out at our place. What's the point of living in nature if you can't look out a window and see it? I do need to clean these windows. Whew, man, I need to clean those bad. We have somebody coming out of her room. Hello, Mirabug. Hello. So Miriam's room is upstairs. She's got a little attic room, but it's perfect for her because she's short anyway. So she has her play area. I didn't clean it up. I do have a mattress just on the floor for her to sleep in because that allows me to snuggle her to sleep because you like snuggles. And we have her dresser and some storage, like all her baby stuff she's outgrown is back there. That's her room, yes. And then on the other side, we have just our closet. It is framed in a little closer. So we just have our closet space, and then that's locked out. That's all just utility, unfinished area back there. The final room in our home I want to show you is our master bathroom. It isn't anything too fancy because it won't always be a master bath, but it works great for Dannon and I now. I mentioned at the beginning of this video I was going to talk about some things I liked and didn't like. That we were going to do the same and different in the main house. I did talk about the concrete floors. I love them. These floors are a similar color. You know, grays and not like one color are a wonderful option. One thing that we did when we built this house is we built it really, really quickly. So our goal was just to get it done. And one thing that meant is that we utilized the Lowe's and the Home Depot a lot because you can get what you need really quickly, find it. It's cheaper as well. However, we have found some things like from Lowe's and the Home Depot, like door handles and faucets and things like that haven't worked quite as well. So I think when we build the main house, we are going to be a little bit more picky and buy from more specialty dealerships. So that is one thing to keep in mind if you are building a home, that you know, cheaper is cheaper for a reason. So that is one thing we're gonna do different when we build the main house. The other nice window that we have is this door. It's a window door and it just lets us go out onto our beautiful balcony, which again, you can see my garden out here. Well, that is it for the tour. We are so excited for the main house to get built, but for now, this is working great. As she gets older, it will start to feel tighter, but we're hoping in just like a couple years, we're gonna go ahead and be able to build the main house, and then I'll get to show you that. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if there is anything you have questions about, and hopefully you maybe got some ideas for how to plan your own house. Miriam wants to get down, so we're gonna take her inside.